It is officially Packers Hate Week here on Chicago Bears Now. We've got an early week Bears Packers preview coming up here in just a moment. My name is Harrison Graham. But guys, Cyber Monday deal. Last day you can get these Cardiac Bear shirts for 20% off. The link is in the description. It'll be replied to the pinned comment as well. $24, normally $30, 20% off. Get your Cardiac Bear shirts today, and let's dive into today's show. All right, here we go. Bears, Packers, the first of two matchups over the next 3 weeks between these NFC North rivals. And let's face it, the stakes have not been this high in this matchup in a very long time. The Bears have not been in the mix. The Packers have, but the Bears have not. While the game is always big, you could argue it's never been bigger. And the Packers, a healthy favorite at home, 5.5 points, over-under set at 44.5. And is Vegas going to learn? Number one, that the Bears could score points, 44.5 feels a little low. And are they going to learn that maybe giving teams almost a touchdown? They did it with the Eagles, got punked. This one opened at 6. It's currently 5.5. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'll have my prediction later on in the show. Take a look at these teams a little bit closer. Bears 8th in scoring at over 26 points per game. 27th in points allowed, but obviously what the defense has done really well is create takeaways. They still lead the NFL in takeaways. The Bears' offense is low in giving the ball away. Turnover margin plus 17. Next closest is plus 9. I mean, that is how you're 9-3. That is a big reason why. Top 10 in third down offense and defense too. So in key areas, the Bears have been very, very good. The Packers 10th in scoring offense, 24.5. 4th in scoring defense. Their defense has been awesome. Tied for 10th in turnover margin at plus 4. First in third down offense, just under 50%. And then middle of the pack in third down defense, 38.5%. You take a look at some red zone numbers here. The Bears have been creeping up. Red zone offense. Remember, for about 5-6 weeks, it was really bad. Back to tied for 15th, 58.5% of the time. They're punching it into the end zone. Defensively, they're giving up touchdowns 61% of the time, 25th in the NFL. They have not been great in that area. Neither of the Packers, 21st in red zone defense. They've been excellent in the red zone offensively. At third, 67.4%. They score touchdowns 2/3 of the time. Now, we won't have the first official injury reports until Wednesday. We'll see if Ben Johnson says anything today. We'll, of course, go live this afternoon, so tune in for that. But Tyrique Stevenson didn't play last week. We'll see if he can go this week, longer rest week, so we'll see if that helps. The three linebackers that haven't been playing, TJ Edwards, Noah Sewell, Ruben Hyppolite. Keep an eye on TJ. It'd be great to get him back for this game. Obviously, Tremaine Edmonds is on IR. He's not going to be eligible to play in this game. Dominique Robinson, who was in the concussion protocol last week, long week off. Hopefully he can return. And then Andrew Billings was being evaluated for a concussion in that Black Friday game. Not sure if we ever got clarity on his status, but he only played 16 snaps, so I don't think he returned to that game. So keep an eye on him as well. For the Packers, talked to our Packers host, Joey Peterson. He said Quay Walker, Matthew Golden, and Savion Williams didn't play on Thanksgiving, but good chance they'll return, so keep an eye on that. Jayden Reed is in the middle of his practice window. That was opened about a week and a half ago. You would think with extra time here, he would probably play as well, so the Packers could be getting some key reinforcements back. Devonte Wyatt is not going to be playing. He, who we talked about yesterday, is likely out for the season, certainly not going to play on Sunday or in the game in a couple of weeks as he dealt with a pretty serious ankle injury. Could be a world where he returned late in the playoffs or something like that, but in the short term, the Bears will not have to worry about him. All right, we're challenging Joey Peterson and the Packers Report to a Week 14 subscriber battle. If you hate the Packers, if you want to beat their ass on Sunday, let's beat them in new subscribers as well. I don't want this to be a competition. I want to eviscerate the Packers Report this week in new subscribers. The build-up to this game is going to be insane. We're going to have it all covered. Free daily content, including our live show this afternoon at 4 o'clock Central Time. Sub for Bears Dubs. Let's take down the Packers Report. All right, who has the edge? Head coach. I'll go push. I have a lot of respect for Matt LaFleur. I think it's insane when Packers fans, after they lose a game or two, are like, get rid of this guy. He's had a pretty nice run there. Now, I would make a strong argument that this year Ben Johnson's done a better job than Matt LaFleur, but I think these coaching staffs, starting with the head coaches, are both really good. I mean, both defensive coordinators are good, Dennis Allen and obviously Jeff Hafley. So I'll go a push at head coach and on the coaching front as a whole. Okay, quarterback. I got to give the edge to Green Bay. Don't kill me, but Jordan Love, who is very streaky, he's very up and down, he's been pretty good this season. He's been really good recently. I thought he played one of his better games against the Lions on Thanksgiving. He's not turning it over as much, 19 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. That's an area Caleb's good in as well, 17-5 ratio, obviously. But Jordan Love's been a little bit more consistent. Now, one thing I will say, in a tight spot late in the game, I think I trust Caleb more than Jordan Love. 5 game-winning drives. Jordan Love at times in the clutch, you don't feel as confident. He just gets a little dicey there. So if the game is tight late, I actually like the Bears quarterback better. But just throughout the course of the game, throughout the course of the season, Jordan Love has played better. He's also making $55 million per year. Like that should be the case right now. Big picture, I'm not saying I would take Love over Caleb, but right now, if I'm being honest, being fair, I would give the edge to the Packers quarterback. Okay, skill players. I would go Bears, but I think it's closer than we think. Now, Tucker Kraft out for the season is part of this equation. Packers could be getting some guys back, but still really like the Bears receivers. The tight ends as a whole, especially with what Kmet has done in the blocking this year. Colston Loveland's been coming along. And then what they're doing in this running game. In a vacuum, you would, of course, take Josh Jacobs over DeAndre Swift, but Swift and Monungai have been fantastic. Packers' run game at times has been hit and miss, so I would lean Chicago, although it's pretty close. Offensive line, I'd go Bears. The Packers have some good offensive linemen, but they've been a little banged up at times. They have kicked in Anthony Belton, their draft pick, to guard, and we'll see how that continues to progress as he got the start last week with some mixed results, but they've kind of been scrambling at a couple of those positions this year, whereas not only have the Bears been remarkably healthy up front, they've been good. Ozzie Trapillo, 2 starts, some good things. That's the one Bears not just really, really good spot left tackle, but even he's shown some good signs early on here. Okay, defensive line. It's still the Packers, even without Devonte Wyatt. I mean, Micah Parsons has been remarkable. We'll talk more about him when we get to keys to victory. Rashawn Gary's a really good player. They still have some interior guys that cause problems, good depth pieces, so I would definitely give that advantage to Green Bay. Linebackers, Packers with an asterisk. If Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards were playing in this game, it would be at least a push, if not advantage Bears, but Tremaine has no chance of playing in this game as he is on IR, and we don't know what TJ Edwards' status is. I'm hopeful he could come back this week. He's missed the last 4 games, extra time off. Hopefully he can go. If he can play, it might be closer to that push status, but even if he does, you're still talking about him probably playing next to DeMarco Jackson, so who's done some good things but is a backup for a reason. I think just based on the right here and right now, you'd have to give the advantage to the Packers, especially if Quay Walker can play. Secondary, I'll go Bears. Jalen and Kyler are back. They were clearly on a snap count last week. They should get even more ramped up this week. Nashawn Wright's been fantastic. So has Kevin Byard. Jaquan Brisker has been mostly solid too. C.J. Gardner-Johnson has injected some life into that group. So, yeah, pretty pleased with the Bears secondary as a whole. And while the Packers secondary has played better than I thought it would, I would still give the advantage to the Bears, although Xavier McKinney, that guy can cause problems. Special teams. Bears, and I looked this up. PFF has their special teams rankings. The Bears are up to 11th, and listen, we got to give Richard Hightower a lot of credit. This was teetering on disaster about a month and a half ago. They have fixed the kickoff coverage unit. They're kicking more of those knuckleballs. Cairo Santos it has done really well there. The kickoff coverage, that has been fixed. I mean, for about 5 games now, they really have not had any leaks in their kickoff coverage. Doesn't mean no one's ever going to have a good return, but for the last 5-6 weeks, it's been much better. Cairo's been solid on field goals, 18-22. Torrey Taylor, look, for a 4th-round pick, probably hasn't lived up to that, but he's still a pretty good punter. The Packers are 25th in special teams. They're bottom 5 in kickoff coverage unit. Brandon McManus has been a mess. He's like 71% on field goals this year, so I think the Bears actually have the advantage in this spot. All right, we have more to break down in this game as the Bears take on the Packers at Lambeau Field. We'll get to our keys to victory in a moment, but first, our show is being sponsored by PrizePicks. Shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's episode. It is the holiday season, the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once, and while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, what game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. That is PrizePicks. Awesome new feature with PrizePicks. They have early payouts now. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. Now, you're probably asking, what does a lineup look like? Well, you pick 2 or more players and take more or less on their stat projections. We're talking passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards, touchdowns, combo stats, fantasy score, points, rebounds, assists in basketball, goals, assists in soccer and hockey. You can have lineups with a basketball, baseball, football player if you want to. It's obviously baseball offseason, but you get my point. 3-player lineup I like. A little Monday action here. Jackson Dart is back. I think he'll throw at least 1 touchdown pass. That's a goblin play. Stephon Diggs, I think he finds the end zone in this one as well. That's a demon pick. Those are tougher to hit. Kind of evens out with the goblin pick, which is easier to hit. And then Travion Henderson has scored a lot of touchdowns recently, so I think he can find the end zone. $20 entry to win $80. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. All right, let's get to some keys to victory. Run the ball until you can't, right? You know, the Bears on Black Friday dominated largely because the Eagles could not stop the run, and Ben Johnson in the middle of that third quarter for about a drive and a half, and people kind of killed me on Twitter. Why are you questioning Ben? Ben himself after the game was like, I probably called too many pass plays. Now, listen, 47 runs, stuck with it in the fourth quarter. For the vast majority of that game, he stuck to the run game, and for good reason, because these 2 running backs, Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift, have been awesome. They've just been fantastic. There's an outside shot. Both guys rush for over 1,000 yards. Swift is almost certainly going to get there. We'll see if Monangai does, but the point remains they're going to combine for probably 2,000 rushing yards. And against Philadelphia, he just hammered the run. Again, outside of that 5-6 minute stretch in the third quarter where he got a little pass happy, 47 carries for 281 and 2 touchdowns in that game. Been talking about it for weeks. That translates to winter football, to the postseason if the Bears were to get there, which they're in a good position to do so. So run the ball until Green Bay stops it. Like that would be my approach in this football game. Okay, number 2, don't let Micah Parsons wreck the game. Micah Parsons is the first player in NFL history to have 12 or more sacks in his first 5 seasons. He's already hit that this year with, 5 games to go. He's got 12 and a half. He's got 67 pressures on like 300-something pass rush plays, so it's almost 20%, and he's playing a vast majority of the snap. You know, sometimes you get these guys with outlier pass rush win rates who are really just third-down pass rushers. He's on the field almost every play, and he's still almost at 20%. He is having a remarkable season for Green Bay. And listen, if I'm the Packers, if I'm Jeff Hafley, I'm lining him up opposite of Ozzie Trapillo, and I'm seeing if he can hold up. Now, if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm probably not leaving him on an island very often. If Micah Parsons is lined up against him, you know, maybe a handful of times. You can't literally chip every player. You'd like not to. But I would expect a lot of 12 and 13 personnel in this game. The Bears do that a lot already with Cole Kmet, Colson Loveland. They play Durham Smythe a good amount. So I would expect that to continue because Micah can wreck this game. Like, if you get him isolated on Ozzie Trapillo, who's done some nice things, I like Micah Parsons in that matchup. Quite frankly, Micah isolated on Darnell Wright, who's mostly having a really good season. I still like Micah Parsons in that matchup. So I think you're going to see a lot of chipping with the tight ends and the backs, and do not let number 0 just hijack this game. Okay, you got to make Jordan Love uncomfortable. Jordan Love, when he has time to throw and he's just kind of bouncing in the pocket and able to play in a rhythm, he can do what he did on Thanksgiving where, yeah, he'll miss some throws, but he'll throw 4 touchdown passes. Now, under pressure per PFF this year, he's completing sub 40%, has 2 picks, no touchdowns. Now, his PFF grades, by and large, have been very good. When you blitz him, he's done a good job of beating the blitz. So, you know, the Bears do struggle to get pressure without blitzing. So, do you throw some kind of just exotic blitzes at him? Do you try to win early with 4? It's going to be interesting to see what Dennis Allen's approach is going to be. This would be a great game for someone on that defensive line to have a couple of sacks and win his one-on-one matchups. I did not think Montez Sweat was very good on Black Friday against Philadelphia going up against a swing tackle. I was disappointed in his performance, even though he's been pretty good as of late. But you got to get Jordan Love off his spot. If he just has time to throw back there, this Bears secondary is playing well, but he's going to make some plays. For the Bears quarterback, less misses from Caleb Williams. Look, we have to accept there's going to be some misses. He's still developing. The footwork his base at times gets too wide. He's gonna miss some throws, but I think the last couple weeks they've increased a bit, right? Like I felt like that was tightening up the accuracy. No one's lighting the world on fire 75% or anything, but I thought there was a stretch where it was getting getting better, I should say. And last week, there's just too many misses. And listen, it's cold, it's windy. That's going to be the case from here on out. You're going to play in tough weather games. I'm not expecting him to complete north of 70% of his throws, but let's at least be 60+ in most of these games and take advantage of the opportunities that are there. And the beauty of this Bears team, the beauty of Ben Johnson, they don't need Caleb Williams to be a superhero. He's making a lot of big plays. He does not have to carry this thing. They're going to be able to run the football in most games, but when you do have opportunities, you can't miss as often as he did against Philadelphia. So I would imagine that is a big emphasis this week to tighten that stuff up. Okay, last one is always a theme. Take command of the North. Obviously, the Packers, you play them again in a couple of weeks. So even if you win this game, it's not like it's over. But if you win this first one, the pressure is all on Green Bay when they come to Soldier Field in Week 16, because then they have to win that game to have a chance in the division. Whereas if you split, you're in a good spot. If you win both, you pretty much bury Green Bay in the North. So if you can win this first one on the road, I mean, that's just massive. That is just absolutely massive. So hopefully the Bears are able to do just that. All right, remember, it is early in the week. I'm subject to change my score prediction based on injuries, etc. But I want to hear your predictions. Bears, Packers, how you feeling here on this Monday? Who do you like to win, and what do you have as the final score? I got Bears 26-24, man. I just trust them right now. I trust Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams is a little hit and miss, but he doesn't turn the ball over a lot. If he can take care of the football and make timely plays, which he's been doing even when he hasn't played great, if this team can continue to run the ball and make timely plays on defense, if it's tight late, I feel confident. Bears 26, Packers 24, Cairo Santos, a big kick late. I like Chicago. Again, subject to change as the week goes on. We'll see what the injury reports look like, but that's how I'm feeling here on a Monday. What say you? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Chicago Bears Now. We will talk about this matchup, have updates all week long. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. Let's bury the Packers report this week. And we'll see you guys this afternoon, 4 o'clock Central Time. Bears Now Live. Bear down.